So I have repeated the problem for you, and I have written that these are the two equations which are generally there, right? And here they are writing the same thing, that Q is given, and because it was given as meter cube per minute, so convert it to meter cube per second, because kilogram second meter, right, is the standard unit. So convert it from meter cube per minute to meter cube per second. So please do that, right? If you mix up units in an equation, something is in millimeter, something is in meter, something is in gram, something is in kilogram, then every calculation is wrong. But everything is meter, everything is kilogram, everything is second, then your answer is straight away right, right? So therefore, right, so this was Q, converted it into meter cube per second, D1, diameter at the top, converted into meter, right? Area is pi d square by 4, so just substitute this d here and you find the value of area. Q is equal to A1 V1, so V1 is equal to Q by A1, right? So write the value, but now they are all standard same units. So you get velocity as so much meter per second. Now this is the Bernoulli equation, right? We will take this side first because this is the bottom. This is the bottom. Of course, we are taking the friction loss as 0. We are assuming the friction loss as 0. You should write that we think that the sand mold is made with good surface finish of the sprue, so friction loss is 0. Now this H2 is the total height, right, at the bottom. So this is 0.2, right, the height. And H1 is 0, because if you are starting from here, you are going here. So the length there is 0, the length here, the liquid column, there is no height of the liquid column. So the height of the liquid column there is 0, and the height of the liquid column on the other side is 0.2. Okay, right? And V1 square upon 2G, V1 square upon 2G, right? So I just did the other way. You see, if this is a column, if this is a column, the height at the bottom is 0, right? And the height at the top is 0.2, right? So sorry for that. I told you the other way around, but right, this is the height. This is the height. You are measuring height from here. So at the lower end, the height is 0. At the top end, the height is 2.2. So 0.2 is at the top, and the velocity at the top was this, right? And density you will find is given here, right? Density. Is it density? Tell me. No. This is just 2G. This is just 2G. So 2 and 9.81 meter per square second, right? So H1 V1 squared upon 2G, and then it will be P1 upon rho G. Now this sprue is open to the atmosphere. So the pressure at the top and pressure here, it is both open to the atmosphere. So the pressure is P atmosphere here, pressure is P atmosphere here. Similarly, it is the same molten metal. So whatever density it has, it is the same density. So we don't need to find it. So therefore, the P upon rho G on this side and the P upon rho G on the other side is already there. So you see, that is why in the problem they did not mention the density of aluminum. If it was required, we would find it from a table or somewhere, but here it will cancel out. So now this you have the equation, right? You apply the Bernoulli equation. The height at the top is 0.2. V1 you just found upon 2G, and P1 by rho G is just P atmosphere by rho G. When you go to the bottom, the height is 0. The height is 0. The V is unknown. The V is unknown, but right, the 2G is still there. So this P atmosphere by rho G, this P atmosphere by rho G will cancel out, and you only will have the unknown V2, right? So now you will find it from here. So you see, this strategy should be in your mind, that I have continuity equation and I have the Bernoulli equation, and the variables are area, velocity, pressure, and so on, right? These are there. viscosity was given, but it is not used until now. So now using the continuity equation, you found this first part, right? You found this first part, the velocity, and using the Bernoulli equation, you found the second part, the velocity at the bottom. So this comes out to be this. Now this may be right, this may be wrong. These are human beings who have written the book. You should have very carefully solved it. If your answer is almost this, that the velocity at the bottom is 1.45 meter per second, then it is great. If it is not, then you try to find out where there is a problem in your solution or a problem in their solution. You have found now the velocity at the bottom. So the first part of the question is over, right? Now, what was the second part of the question, right? That what should be the area at the bottom? What should be the area at the bottom to avoid aspiration and so on, right? Aspiration, remember, will happen if the air bubbles get entrapped. So the thing is very simple. This equation is the continuity equation. If there is a continuity of flow, if we do not have disturbances and so on, then aspiration will not happen. So if you keep the same flow rate, then aspiration will not happen. So that is it. That continue to keep the same flow rate as was at the top. Don't allow the flow rate to change. If you do that, then the flow is smooth. The flow is not very violent and disturbing, and therefore aspiration or inclusion of air bubbles will not happen. So Q is equal to A2V2. Q is equal to A2V2 should be your equation therefore. Now Q is already known. Velocity at the bottom you have found out. So just use that. Q is equal to A2V2. So V is equal to Q upon A and so on. And you find out. Right? You find out. So because it is there, therefore this is the area. This is the area at the bottom. 1.45, right? Area. And area is pi by 4 ds square. So therefore find the volume, the diameter. So this is the diameter at the bottom of the sprue for a good sprue design, avoiding aspiration or inclusion of bubbles in the molten flow. So this, again, as I tell you, don't read the solution. You have done the solution, compare the answer and see if your answer and this answer matches, then be very happy and proud that you did it rightly. If there is some difference, then try to find out the source of the error. And if you can find out the source of the error in your problem solving, then you already learned a lot. Okay. So two of the things that were to be known: what should be the diameter at the bottom is known, what should be the velocity at the bottom is known. Now the Reynolds number. So now Reynolds number is not an issue. Reynolds number is simply V d rho upon eta. But here velocity, so this is the velocity that you found, dia is the dia at the bottom which we just found, rho is the density and eta is the viscosity. Viscosity is given in the problem, density is not. So you go to some table, and found 27,000 kilogram per meter cube. Remember, density can be in kilogram per meter cube. Density can also be in gram per centimeter cube. So if it is in gram per centimeter cube, convert that to kilogram per meter cube so that everything is again in the meter kilogram unit, right? So if it was a problem in the quiz and so on, the value of density would be given or property tables would be given. Right now you have access to the book, so right, so density is this much and other now it is just velocity, whatever velocity you found in meter per second. Diameter whatever you found, 12, right? So it is 0.012 in meter, right? Density is 2700, right? And eta is 0.004. And all is in MKS, remember, meter, kilogram, second. That is why from the beginning, the volume flow rate was given in meter cube per minute. So you converted it to meter cube per second. Diameters, this, that were given into millimeters. You convert it into meter, right? Density is directly in kilogram per meter cube and so on, right? So this is the Reynolds number. This is the Reynolds number, 11,745. Any Reynolds number less than 2000 is laminar flow. Any number between 2000 to 20,000 was a mix of laminar and turbulent. Any number more than 20,000 was turbulent, which is bad, right? So this statement is important. This magnitude of the Reynolds number is typical, very usual for casting molds, representing a mix of laminar and turbulent flow, which is good for casting. It is not too turbulent. Very turbulent will be at 20,000. It is well below that, right? You see, if it is between 2000 to 20,000, 2000 to 20,000, the average is how much? Around 11,000, right? So it is just about the average in that range, 2,000 to 20,000 range. It is just around the average. If it is very close to 20,000, then we should worry. If it should be very close to 2,000, we should worry not about the disturbance aspiration, but about the flow rate and how quickly things will solidify, isn't it? So this is a very good Reynolds number for general casting, and they have even written it that this value of Reynolds number is typical for casting molds. So this is what we should aim for, right? 11,000, 12,000, 13,000. These are the types of Reynolds number that you would. So you see, you are working on the design of the sand casting mold, right? Design of the sand casting mold. The sprue design. The sprue has to be designed. The pouring basin has to be designed. The gating system has to be designed and so on. So this is one part. Of course, here in one course on manufacturing, we will be covering lots of different manufacturing methods. So we will not go 100% detail into any one. It will be more of a broad coverage than a deep coverage. But what happens always, if you end up in a company where a foundry is there, where casting is being done, then that is what they do every day. So whatever your 1 week or 2 week or 1 month training program is there, you are a new engineer, they will train you. And now you will not focus on 30 different subjects. You will focus only on casting. So within 1 week, 2 weeks, you have a very good mechanical engineering or engineering background, and you are, an intelligent person, and very quickly you will learn it. So when you are in a job, then you learn much more details, because then those are the only details. You don't have to worry about the other things. So that you will do. But right now we are preparing you for a lot of things. So it is not that I can teach you pattern design and sprue design and gating design and everything at the same time. But at least you are getting a flavor of some design work involved in manufacturing here, right? Some design work, manufacturing. So if you can do even this one problem, I told you the problems we select are generally very, very good problems. So you see all the things that you covered in the fluid flow in a sand mold. The continuity equation, the Bernoulli equation, the Reynolds number, the flow, aspiration, sand inclusion, breaking away, turbulence, everything is covered in one problem. And if you do it intelligently, you really understand it yourself, you do it yourself. Read the problem, understand the problem, the data, knowns, unknowns, select the correct equation, select the correct process, your answer is right. Then you are very confident. You don't have to do a lot of practice, right? But please do it yourself. Don't listen to the solutions and just don't directly read the solutions.